All right. Looks like you're here. And so I'm here. And Jeremiah's here. And you're here. And I'm here. And you're here. And Jeremiah's here. And I'm here. And you're here. But what I want to know is, where's the caveman? And also, what are we doing tonight? What's the plan? What's the plan? Plan, man. What's the idea? I forgot to make one in advance, so we're kind of just winging it. Oh, you know what? You know what? As much as I promised this would be a winging it night, do we just play Sunless Skies until I get bored with it? Because I've had this installed for over 5 years now, with intent to stream it at some point. You know what? Yeah, I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to do it. Yeah. Yeah. See, I was thinking I need something to voice a bloop. Problem solved almost immediately. Yeah. Welcome in. How goes, despite the fact that we were just talking about that? Actually, no. Did I ever actually ask you how you were doing? You said things were looking up overall, in broad strokes. I don't know if you've mentioned any specifics. Also, are you joining in on Twin Suns tomorrow? What am I doing? I'm clicking on this button, and then I'm adjusting my capture. That's what I'm doing. I kind of wonder if I should perhaps play Sunless Sea first. Do I have the patience to play both of them in a row? Almost certainly not. Is Sunless Sea better than Sunless Skies? You know what? Let's ask the internet. Do I play Sunless Sea before Sunless Skies? Sunless Skies has better gameplay. Sunless Sea has better story. Stories are connected but distinct enough that you won't miss much. But there are spoilers for Sunless Sea and Sunless Skies. Yeah, let's start with Sea, and we'll see how long I make it. Because back in the day when I played Sunless Sea, I made the mistake of going for an iron story, and I assure you, it's not worth it. That is just not a good story. It doesn't work. The game mechanically does not support it. Well, as far as I know, it's only the three of us, so I can't imagine you would be uninvited. Maybe ping Brendan about it. Our guide, not the new one. Because if we've got extra space, we might as well fill it up. An evening game of Twin Suns? All right, Sunless Sea. Oh, we're going to need to think of names. I forgot to check when the last time I played this was. Also, hold on. Okay, it's still $12 to buy the expansion pack for this game, so I'm not going to buy the expansion pack. I considered it, but no. So if we're done Anodyne, we'll start with Sunless Sea. Another bloop? Okay. Have we got the capture? We've got the capture. So, can I load the game? No, we do not have the saves on this computer. Which means the last time I played Sunless Sea was on my laptop. The Etch-a-Sketch. The first computer I ever bought for myself. And I still have it in a box somewhere. But it operates in like 640 by 480 on an 18-inch monitor. So something is clearly wrong with the guts of it. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile beneath the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Untersee. Who are you, and who do you want to be? You lodge in a room above the blind helmsman, and now who were you? An ordained priest, a natural philosopher, a veteran of the campaign of '68, a poet, a street urchin, perhaps? All right. Am I a poet? A poet with family money, a veteran with a pension, a natural philosopher. You know, I'm kind of feeling the natural philosopher angle. I'm open to suggestions in general. An ordained priest. I'm thinking natural philosopher. Your acquaintance, the plausible surgeon, will serve as ship's doctor until you find someone better. Talk to him to find out why he went to Z. What does winning mean to you? Finding your father's bones? Fulfillment, gathering 100 tales, learning all you can of the Zee? Finding wealth? A private kingdom, perhaps? Let's go with father's bones. When you've found your father's bones, you can retire to Victory. Explore fallen London to find your first clue. Captain, an irregularity with the Harbour Master's office. They wish to know, what term of address do you prefer ashore? Madam, my lord, my lady, captain, citizen, or sir? Sir goes just fine. A last piece of advice. Be okay with dying. Nice beard and a top hat. Ooh. Rather interesting portraits. Quite a mustache on this man. And that woman has tentacles in her hair. Well, we'll go with the classic. And, well, let's go with the classic Ducasse. Your father lost at Zee so very long ago. The trail was cold, but now you have a lead. The gracious widow. It is said that she controls half the crime in London. It is said that she is 500 years old. It is said that she can distill spirits that delight the tongue and melt the flesh. It is said she has paid for a memorial headstone to be set up for your father. What does she know? All right, advice, London, lodgings, the first clue, and a passenger. The night under the earth. The widow receives you in utter darkness, blank as a bandage laid across your eyes. This is usual for the widow. Yes, yes, she says, and her voice is oddly youthful. I have an interest in your father. I had hoped news of the headstone would bring someone looking, and here you are. I have an idea where his bones might be. Perhaps you might help me recover them. But I would like you to cover my expenses first. I need something for my tonics. Scintillac. You can find it in Port Cecil, I understand. You may go. Port Cecil may be found in the center of the Untersee, and we must go there and purchase some Scintillac. All right. Islands will only move so far. Legacies. Further captains can inherit some skills, officers, equipment, and money. Over time, you'll find extra items and advantages that allow you to preserve a greater something or other. So it's like it's a roguelike, if I recall correctly. Exploration. Speak to your officers to spend secrets on improving your abilities. Spend echoes on equipment in ports. You can often find officers in London. On Mercy. Unforgiving mode is how the game is meant to be played. One autosave. If you're getting frustrated, you can switch to Merciful mode. Saving or loading manually will permanently switch a character. Alright, this will remove the Invictus token. Well, we'll try it the proper way. On machines. Both your prow lamp and your engines use fuel. More powerful engines use more fuel, but all lamps use fuel at the same rate. Try not to run out. Note that the Admiralty will compensate you with fuel for port reports. All right. On finding places to explore, send out your Z-Bat and it'll tell you where the nearest undiscovered island is. Be warned, if you're moving, it'll give less accurate directions. Technically, it's a chiropteroscope, but we're among friends here. All right. When your enemy is in the arc of your guns, you'll see the firing solution. The glow around the fire buttons increase. When it's complete, let them have it. You can fire earlier if you like, but you might miss. Larger ships may have access to different gun slots. A green glow means your enemy is in the light. Enemy ships also have an arc on their guns. Try to stay out of their way. Enemy Z-Beasts will generally try to ram or bite you, and they'll submerge between times to avoid your attacks. If you're careful and turn your lights off, you may also be able to sneak up behind them. Alright, stories and terror and news stories. Unlocked with a key of dreams. Alright, watch the skull. When you see orange or red pips, terror will bump up if you know what? I remember enough. I've sold the book. Both of these games never did get around to them. I feel like streaming is a big part of me actually potentially finishing this, because it never felt right to have music on in the background, and as a result, I kind of just went for long stretches of waiting. And waiting is different when you've got company, you see. All right, a passenger. Agree to carry the Gnomic Gallivant to the Cumaean Canal or the Iron and Misery Funging Station, or both. History is a horse. Who will prick it with their spurs? He cries to no one in particular. A drop of blood may be as precious as a ruby. All right. The Gnomic Gallivant is on a mission. The board will forever alter. He puffs out his chest. Ruby studs gleam in the lamplight. I knew London had enterprising souls still left in it. I am seeking truth, sir, which I am told I may find in the Iron and Misery Funging Station and the Cumaean Canal. Ideally, I'd learn both, but I could settle for one. For at Port Cecil there will be a contest, and we will change the world with a game of chess. A king will fall. All right. Click the launch button to leave port. Launch. Tap W twice to reach max speed. Yep, classic. Streaming adds a certain spice to things that are normally a little solitary. Exactly. We've already found Bad Stevener's Abyss. So we are aiming, generally... Oh, we found Rowena's Rocks. We are aiming, generally, for the center of the map. So how... Not far at all. We don't coast very much. Now... Let's dock. A light ship. Okay. They long for news of home. I don't have any news of home. That's on me. I forgot to pick up any news of home before I left. Seems Moody's Lighthouse has no stopping point. Here the wilder airs mingle with the airs of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come down below? Are we already at the funging station? Well, look at that! We've discovered Iron and Misery Funging Station. It's like logging, but with fungus. Hard to miss, I would say. And a dock. Iron and Misery has a funger operation here, felling giant Bolegas shrooms for building materials, harvesting Curaleaf for its medicinal properties. Up puffs the affable Factor.
Oh, hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance?
I don't like comedians. I am a very serious man, but we agree on one thing. Timing. That's why I'm breaking into the Factor's home and why I need you to distract him until I've found a special itinerary. I have acquired... Oh. We can try to pick up some supplies here. It just so happens that you bump into the Factor on his walk home. What a happy coincidence. You couldn't possibly manage this entire picnic basket by yourself. Overjoyed to have company, he joins you on a bench for the next hour, merrily eating sandwiches. You leave once you have seen the Gallivant pass by. Back on your deck, the Gallivant laughs jovially, his rubies wink in the light. Iron and Misery will be sending a representative to the contest in Port Cecil. There's a full itinerary for all the events, tailored for every attendee. I have the Dictator's moves mapped. Well, 60% chance. Let's see what happens. Well, we have 8 out of 10 crew. Let's see if we can get... No, we went out for supplies. But the spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongues. One crewman begins to whimper. Ah, Christ, he says. They reached my heart. I think I'll be Harvest yet. Harvest yet! You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. We've acquired a little bit of terror. Well, that's enough for one day. Let's head a little bit to the south. Just a tad. Well, no, that was the wrong button. Oh, who is that? It's a pirate. Here we are, lining up a shot, lining up a shot. They haven't found us yet. Oh, I think they're about to. I think they're about to. Hey, fellas! I don't know if they got me. Loot and scuttle the pirates. We have found a cache of curiosities. Also, they winged us. These pinnaces don't sail far from their hidden harbors, but there's something at the back of the hold.
Crates, the source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo.
A crate of fuel. Coke, like coal, but more so, as the Department of Infernal Rarefactions would have it. All clear. Hey, it's Mutton Island, featuring Quaker's Haven. It has been so long. Alright, when you see green running lights, you're in the dark and the terror will increase. Watch the pips on the terror indicator. Quaker's Haven. Once, this simple fishing village was part of the London suburbs before London fell and the waters rushed in. Alright, I can spend 20 bucks to visit the pub. There's only one public house on the island. The Cock and Magpie is famed for its local cider, and of course the Z-food. I can pick up a wretched Mog. Oh, it's a cat. However, I do have a comatose ferret already. Chat to the fisherman. Oh, yeah, let's chat to the fisherman. Now I've got a port report. I can buy supplies for 30 bucks. I can buy fuel. Let's visit the hilltop above town. There's not much wind on the Untersee, but Mutton Island suffers eerie gusts and buffets from an inexplicably local fragment of weather. The air on the hilltop sometimes carries interesting scents. You stand on a cliff top looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts straight upwards. As you watch, the smoke tilts. The sudden wind thins it to a pencil smudge, then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly, like a god cut in half. What a noise! It must be the caves around the island channeling the air. At least that's the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals each take nips from a shared flask and make a toast towards the mainland. The wind is a southerly. We have succeeded in the challenge and gained fragments, also a little bit of terror. So do I need supplies? You know what? Let's not. Let's just head out. We don't need to buy anything. We've got our port repair. Anyways, let's use actual words again. Those tend to be much better at being words. Okay, full power. Your engines will occasionally explode. Before I do this... Z. It's the Z button. Oh, this looks like a military installation. Oh, heck yes. I think this is the canal I wanted. Which is... just... a shocking coincidence. I forgot that this is what the Cumaean Canal was, so it's very, very convenient that this is what I got. Luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in your wake. Can I not shoot that? It's a Gillifleur. And we are maybe a little bit terrified to be fighting this thing. Whoop, it spotted me. Alright, it's probably going to be upset with me because I've shot it. Ow. Yeah, so this backing up strategy is not doing me too many favors. Oh, for the love of... Die! Ha-ha! We got him! Gillifleur's End! Well... Unlocked with no more than 0 times a port report visage. Is it a young jellyfish? If we let it disperse, we get a cool story. If we grab it, we get maybe supplies. Let's see about the cool story. We now have a Z story. Delightful. So we'll just chill out here for a bit. Didn't help too much. Ah, hello, Gianotti Harbor. Well, what do we have? We've got a moderate amount of money. We've got a moderate amount of supplies and fuel and hull integrity. Let's dock. Here the dark waters run down from the surface, from a brighter sea. The canal ascends through locks and gates and shadowed turns to the sunlight of the surface. Let's listen for surface gossip. We now have a move in the great game. A sorry end. A card game ends badly when one surface sailor knifes another for all the usual reasons. The other players scrabble for the coins that spill from her pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings. Dates, times, code names. Spies' work? Oof. If you have a bunch of fuel and a bunch of supplies and a real yearning, you can go to the surface. Gather info for a port report. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the undersea, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. A riddle. There are 10 individuals in a room, one of whom is an ancient tyrant. How can you distinguish him? Answer. Burglarize a private library for a picture of him beforehand. Interesting. As dinner bells sound throughout the port, you carry a ladder to one of the long-moored, half-legal ship hostels. You prop the ladder to the porthole of what the Gallivant assures you is the cabin of a French diplomat. He ascends swiftly, leaving you to carry the ladder away. Half an hour later, the Gallivant is back on your deck. He polishes his ruby cuffs. I have seen the face of eternity printed in ink. It was a terrible face. You know, I'm realizing something. I should probably do my Blue Sky going live. Since I've got... After a short set of deliberations, we've decided it's finally time to play Sunless Sea. A great many stories wait to be told. And then the link. There we go. Perfect. I should have done an ad break while I was doing that. All right. Let's not travel to the surface today. Let's launch. I think this is a good starter. A good start of a path. Have we gotten any cargo? We haven't gotten any cargo. But we have gotten a couple of port reports. And if we've got a couple of port reports and money to get repaired, we can stock up and be ready to go charging blindly into the center of the sea. Ah, excuse me. There's a bot that I have to murder. Your passage will go unmourned. As we were saying, let's just explore this coastline for a bit. Head back to town, maybe find some officers. So how close do I have to get to the coastline before it counts? So hanging out near those buoys does just fine. Ding, we are all together ready to go back to port. That's what that ding means. That lamp means you've been out of port for long enough to go back to port. We might be headed back for Quaker's Haven. They know we're close to home. Our sailors most certainly know it. We could stop by Mutton Island. Who is that? Matilda Briggs, the tramp steamer. This is fine. This is fine. We don't need to do that. Oh. They're gone. That's ominous. All right. So we should maybe go buy Rowena's rocks. We're out of supply. Well, not out of supplies, just low. We're low on supplies. Let's see how much it costs to get a little bit of repair work done. Also, let's see if we've got any source of money here. Because I know you can sometimes get some supplies by bringing stories. Well, I don't need to bribe anybody. So, some things are too illegal for the customs service to admit the existence of. The Ministry are here looking for those. I have no gifts for the Pirate King, and I have no firkins of red honey, so I have nothing to hide. I shrug and invite them to search the ship as thoroughly as they would like. They leave scuff marks on the newly scrubbed deck and take great pleasure in tangling the rigging. They find nothing more dangerous than moldy ship's biscuit. Let's collect some messages from the harbor master. Something has changed, someone wants to sign on, and I've got a free evening. London. I can adopt a Blemmigan. That sounds like a bad idea. Head over to the survey office. Well, the Admiralty's picket fleets and intelligence networks are long gone. The survey office pays Z-captains a small sum for recent information. Visit and investigate ports to gain port reports and trade them in here. Well, if you've been to the Cumaean Canal, I suppose we may as well hear about it. The fee is nominal, though. Hey, they give me money. Been trying the original rubbery lumps, have we? Another $5 and some favor. And fuel. Getting a whole bunch of free fuel. You've been to Demio's Gate? $20 to go to Demio's Gate. Is there anything I can ask to speak to a higher authority? Is there anything that you need? This part. All right, got to receive some strategic information from the Iron and Misery Company. That's fine, we were going that way anyways. So we're going to head out. I don't see a need to spread a Blemmigan plague at the moment. I can visit the university. I have a secret. The university has an inexhaustible appetite for secrets, Z specimens, and other tidbits of esoteric lore. Okay. The Rose Market could perhaps buy things from me, but that's fine. If I go carousing, for $10, I can get rid of some terror. I have 15 terror. Ooh, or I can offer passage to a tomb colonist. And I have a new recruit. We could get the Presbyterian adventuress. Afternoon, sir. Looking for a gunnery officer? I'd like to help you blow up some monsters if you'd have me. The irresponsible cannoneer.
Sir, you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here's my design for a whistling shell. Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it?
The adventuress increases iron and veils. The cannoneer increases iron a lot. Or just a sailor. Oh, she's expensive. Sure. We need iron and veils. And a little gift. Very fine evening to you, Captain. My, what you might call mentor, is very fond of adventurous Z-captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation, on account of he is so fond of Z-captains. A dray piled with fuel and supplies. Well, how much space do I have in the hold? I have more than 15 spaces. Sure. I now have a menace of suspicion. Oh, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's head. Should that day come, we will make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct you might require. All right, so I'm going to read the papers. Now I have the news of home. Reduce terror, heal a wound, and give you a restful night if you don't already have one. Well, that's fine. We'll stay in port for a night. We have a restful night. Back to the rest of the city. Let's put the university or the Rose Market. We have nothing to sell. We can go carousing, but I don't think that's very useful. In the dry dock, we can visit the Admiralty fuel stores. You need a lot of favors to get that one done. If you're badly damaged... Yowza! Ooh! Okay, repairs are expensive. Luck quality gives a 70% chance of success, unlocked with no cats. No cats! Hull no more than 74. The Rats of Fallen London are remarkably skilled engineers, and they know ships well. They are not, however, reliable. Payment is in kind, not currency. Well, I'll just have to be a little more careful for this trip. 'Cause I'm not desperate enough to pay any of those prices just yet. So, officers. Let's have a talk with the officers. I can use secrets to upgrade my pages, but no higher than 50. Well, it's only at 26 right now. Mirrors is what I've got. So what do you want? He wants to go to the Chalinet.
You know it, they collect corpses.
He shifts in his seat.
Vast, noble, complicated corpses. What I could learn, what I could see. My dearest Captain, if we ever find ourselves in the Chalinet, I do hope you might see fit to release me from our arrangement.
The Chalinet can be found somewhere in the Far East. You, Presbyterian adventuress, what do you do? All right, spend a secret to improve your iron, but she's going to beat the hell out of you in the process. Okay, she'll have dinner with you, but only if you offer her coffee. I suppose she's just going to be sticking around for a bit. We are headed far out to the east. How far? Not that far, to be entirely honest. Not that far. We're just going out to the central area because we have a gnome who is about to engage in some sort of intrigue. All right, the lightship. Time to speak to the crew. We have spent our recent news for a sea story. It's always nice to drop some news off for them. They are so lonely out here. Now, where are we going? Just about straight east. Grab ourselves a valuable port report. And maybe, just maybe, see if we can't find... Well, no, there wouldn't be any notable cargo to be had over here. But that's fine. We've got some intelligence to pick up as well. We have entered a fog bank and then left the fog bank. If we wanted, we could turn around and enter a fog bank. All right. So the big man is my contact. I now have one strategic information. Yes, I have it here. The courier ship to Mount Palmerston stopped off to resupply. Tell the Admiralty. Tell them I miss my children. Tell them I can't take it here much longer. The spars. The dark. We're going to quietly leave. We're done talking to him for today. Bonnie Reefs is some distance to the north. So if we mark that... Oh, the bat says there's something up there. Cool. Well, that... Oh. Well, that's a little more Corvette than I wanted to be dealing with. So let's not deal with it. We'll just turn the lights out and go elsewhere. The world is webbed with invisible lines. You've crossed one. Tighten them and it would split like a fruit. Bats! Oh, hold on. Hold on. I see bats. Get gone, bats! Are they even worth anything? We can dispose of the corpses to slightly reduce terror, or we can gather them up for supplies. We eat a screes. Scree is now snack. And forward we go. Do I hear seagulls? That's wild. That's a thing and a half. Pardon me. What's the closest thing around? There are no islands within range. Well, how about that? Good thing we're well supplied. What is that? Some sort of gigantic frog. Can I shoot it? Nope, it's on land. Not a me problem. Oh, that's a large shark. A particularly tormented bound shark. I want no part of that. That has almost triple my health bar. I would have to shoot it three times. Oh boy, no, not triple. I would have to shoot that somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 times. The albino moray, same deal. Very far away, someone is screaming. I don't think I want any part of the Sea of Lilies right now. So maybe I'm just going to head back to port. But in doing so, I would really... Well, you know what? Let's head south. Let's head south. Because then we can do basically the same plan. But... Okay, so how do I... That must be a stat effect. To raise that up so that the supplies go further. Oh, no, it's a crew effect. Because the fewer crew members you have, the more the food stretches. Because more people eat more. It would be great if I could find an island. We have been well supplied for this trip, but we're kind of just scouting nothing. Big old gaps. haven't learned much. Mainly just where nothing is. We did find the Sea of Lilies, and decided that it was terrifying and that we wanted no part of it. We did find whatever the hell this giant rock thing is, but that didn't teach us anything either. We're entering the snares. We've found Bidmead Reeves and the Principles of Coral and the Chatranic Lobe. Port Cecil. Haha, we found Port Cecil. It was a good idea to go south. We've found signs of life. Parents Gyrus. Ah, perfect. There's Port Cecil. There's also an albino moray right here. Oh, they're after us. Oh, they're fast. They're very fast. Ooh, don't like that. Don't like that. Hide me, Port Cecil. Hide me. All right. There is a door carved in the crenellated castle. The Gallivant holds a gaily wrapped package in his arms. A long string trails out of it. This is it, sir. Steel yourself. And get the door for me, please. Chess is popular in the Principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up Z-traders. They all play, often excessively. Be careful. The chess pieces are carved from Scintillac. Here in the Principles, that can be very dangerous. So I'm very good at pages, so I'm going to win that. Odd thoughts bubble up every time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home, that one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This one will be a queen one day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore these thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Checkmate? He asks helplessly. We have gained more fragments. I can explore the Coral Knoll. We're gonna grab some intelligence. We can try to gather some Scintillac. Well, I'm supposed to. It's against local law and custom to break coral from the reef, and you've seen the scars of those who tried, the acid burns, the blind silver eyes, so you're looking for a loose fragment. Today the Z is calm, and you find a good few candidates. But after a little while... Oh, I got the Scintillac. Perfect. They lie shining softly like droplets of moon. But after a little while, you become concerned that they are eyes, that each is watching you. When you close your fist around one, it examines your blood with amused delight. When you put them together in your pocket, they clatter and gossip together. Of course, you think, they broke free from the shining mind. They have its vitality, but not its weariness or experience. You will have to lock them in separate boxes lest they peep at you when you're bathing and see you who you are. The thought of their sight on your skin fills you with horror. What if your skin turned clear? What if they saw your bones? You come back to yourself when you see one of your sailors fall on his back and start kicking delightedly in the air like a beetle. Gravity, he cries. I have fallen. You hasten back to the ship with your haul of coral before it can do any further damage. All right. So... well, let's play another game of chess. Gained many more secrets. All right. Well, I probably won't win that one, so I'm gonna help the Gallivant. The right person, place, and time. Beyond the door is a long hall of chess tables. A dark man from the Presbyteriate sits alone in the center of the room, playing against himself. The Gallivant pulls the package's string. 1,000 years is more than enough, don't you think? He tosses it into the room before slamming the door. An explosion knocks it from its hinges, crashing between you both. You peek into the room. The man is as dead as any of the pieces. We have attained vital intelligence. The gnomic Gallivant dusts off his suit. So ends 1,000 years. I've one last appointment, sir, in a King Eater's castle. Time is a cage, and I'm anxious to get there as swiftly as you'll allow. I don't see why not. Where is it? The gnomic Gallivant embraces you like a comrade. Absolutely delightful. You have helped my master plan a happier history for us all. I'll be sure to tell him of your assistance when we reach the castle. All right. So that'll do. We're going to go the long way around. And hopefully... Oh, we found a wrecked ship. The wreck of the Emperor Wolfgang. We found a great many secrets to bring home. I'd imagine we can sell them at the university. Assuming we have enough supplies to get there. Well, nothing for it but to try. Oh, dear. None of you, thanks. You don't need to know I'm here. Oh, you figured it out. Oh, you've very much figured it out. Oh, you are so very fast. I don't particularly like having you around, sir. I don't particularly like having you around. We're out of here. We lived. We got spotted by the shark. And it was after us. But we lived. We lived. We got out of it. Hey, a wall. I should steer. What is this? Pigmote Isle. Ah, this is a port. It looked like a port, and I was right. A storm is watching, the Zalas would say. What have we here to be found? The Saints' Haven. There is no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. What do we find on Pigmote Isle? As you step onto the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see, off in the distance, smoke rising from beyond the hill and dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach.
A literary interlude. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Sea Captain, From London to Irem and What We Did There Before We Arrived, washed ashore on Mutton Island and subsequently serialized in the Unexpurgated Gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. The Tale of Pigmote Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Chapter 1. The Delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Rattus Faber, wearing goggles, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig, wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages.
The rat stepped forward first and bowed. "Welcome, Captain, to Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, second chief engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." The rat stepped back. At precisely the same moment, with what appeared to be the ease of a long habit, the guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. "Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Caviar. I am Lady Augusta Devereux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches, seneschal to our King Graysenor, first of his name. I invite you all to avail yourselves of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." The two stood at attention, looking at me expectantly. I spoke to the chief engineer. His eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. Excuse me. "We came to this island to make a hope for ourselves away from London, its cats and its snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we've made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat." The chief engineer nodded toward the distant hill. "One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them?" I spoke to the seneschal. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look so regal? The seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. "Graysenor the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance, assured shall be our glories and their fall, when our lady's eye restored be to our hall." The seneschal composed herself, and then added, "We saw truth and beauty by the light of Our Lady's eye on Mount Caveat, but with the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us?" I had heard more than enough. I was ready to make my choice. I'm gonna side with the rats. I'm siding with the rats because as much as a peace deal sounds like the good thing to do, I'm very much siding with the working class here. We don't need nobles. I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. "You've made the right choice," said the chief engineer. "Let me show you around." The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints, as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we came upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I had encountered in London flats, perhaps only 50 Rattus Faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from a stump of chickenwood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow, and was almost too bright to look at. By its light I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water, an albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks where a sergeant barked drills at a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. Welcome to Marinia, said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've rousted the cavies. Take a stroll around while I summon the war council. With that, he vanished into one of the mounds and left me to explore. I headed down to the beach. Who ever heard of a rat mending a net? An albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things. Blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing would never be so good without the rat star. He beamed. I think it only draws good fish, keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. I visited the rats' barracks. The drill sergeant appeared to be sizing me up, with a few rats around her really all she had to launch an attack. We were fighting impressive odds. I approached the drill sergeant and went so far as to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her troops and offered me a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. There's more of us below ground, she explained. But not enough. The cavies are bigger and there's more of them. We're better with weapons, but we haven't got the stuff to make them with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish and we nibble the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The cavies came with their own steamer, and they seem to have endless supplies. Excuse me. We raid him sometimes, but there's so few of us, and we can never hold on to territory gained for long. But that's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic. And the rat star, she added thoughtfully after a moment. Of course, we want that too. I took a closer look at the rat star. An excitable-looking rat was peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers and making notes on what appeared to be real paper. Blue as a sapphire, but endlessly more brilliant. It's not a star, of course, but not really. But try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them. Says this is better for morale. But just look at it. Look. She offered me her goggles. I managed to work them over just enough of one of my own eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was Scintillac, but unlike any I'd seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. Those of us who have been to the cavy side of the island and lived to tell of it say there's plenty of glow there, plenty of bright in the water all around, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow. There's sweet water inside and coral crawling all the way up the walls of it. But nothing that glows save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us. The bells of the War Council rang. I was summoned. The chief engineer emerged from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduced them as weapons experts, strategists, and field commanders. So you're going to help us beat the cavies, he said, a hard edge to his voice. But how, exactly? All right. I have nothing to offer but my advice. Perhaps. They are very chancy challenges. They are more likely to fail than not. You know what? I have nothing to offer but my advice. The Cavies had the advantage over the rats. To prolong this much longer was a sure path to defeat. I advised them to put everything they had into one desperate assault on the beached ship. Unhappily, they concurred. The sound of gunfire and screams echoed as far away as my ship, where the crew and I sat and watched. Few of the rats that marched forward that day returned to the light of their precious rat star. Those that did returned bloody and shaking, yet in triumph. It was as much as they could have hoped for, if hard to call a victory. Hail, Morinia. Two houses alike in dignity. Not that this is saying much, mind. An occurrence, your Pigmotile might quality is 2. A nation must be strong. If it hits 0, bad things will happen. A nation needs hope. If it hits 0, bad things will happen. A nation must build. If it hits 0, bad things will happen. 232. A rat. I invited one of the Rattus Faber to join us. Oop, that's bad. The chief engineer couldn't leave his colony, but he relayed my request to his people. The albino rat I saw mending nets shyly stepped forward. I'm good at fixing things, he said earnestly, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before accompanying him on board. I am having trouble remembering... Ooh... I interceded on behalf of the Cavies. I appealed to the chief engineer's moral fortitude and sense of fair play. Perhaps the Cavies suffered the loss of the light from the center of the island. Perhaps they were only trying to get it back, not steal it from the rats. The chief engineer looked troubled at the thought. We only wanted to be left alone, he said. He looked towards the seneschal, haphazardly bandaged among the rats' other prisoners. Perhaps further negotiation is possible. As I left, I saw the albino rat timidly offering a young Cavi prisoner a piece of fresh fish. I have forged peace between the rats and the Cavies. You finish your diary entry, and the final dregs of the rat's surprisingly good wine. A new nation has been founded. That's all for now. So I got some supplies. And now we head back. Oh. Hold on. Shouldn't I have officers? Ah, it's not a journal. It's a gazetteer. Let's speak to the comatose ferret. Ouch! The comatose ferret has bitten me. Little shit. Dodge! Haha! Oh! Ow, come on! The tracking on that hit was absurd. I am almost certainly taking another hit here. Come on. Okay, so we're gonna try and keep him at range, I suppose? I don't think it's going to work. No, they just keep getting hits. I guess I need to be even further away. Come on, one more. I'm so mad. I'm extra mad that he managed to hit that one. Okay, I'm just gonna charge it up all the way and kill it as it charges me. I'm so mad. So we'll just gather the story for it. I think I'm not going to take the next fight that offers itself. Certainly not until I get my iron up a little more. Excuse me. So, I have a half a dozen secrets. And I can use them to upgrade my pages. Oh, was ist das? Station 3. Veils. I would like to increase my veils. And dock. Machinery hums behind high steel walls. So, up the hill there are visible outlines of warehouses and a building with a spire, but the lamps are low where they burn at all, and your ship is the only one in harbor. I'm going to look at it through a telescope. I have a port report. In search for signs of other visitors. I have succeeded. A box lies broken on the ground at one of the 4 keys. No one has cleared away the debris. A torn label reading Soothe and Coo. Curved shards of apothecary bottles. A curious oval of silvered metal the size of a cameo brooch. We have acquired 10 fragments for that. Alright, so we would need a Soothe and Cooper long box. And perhaps it is best not to try my luck until then. Don't want them learning to recognize me now, do we? That's a crab. Leave us alone, crab. Where did... No way. That can't possibly be... Ooh, that's an auroral megalops. What does that mean? It's a big heckin' crab. I don't want it to pinch me. Where was I even going with this? Wolf's Rift, apparently. Or Westergren's Fire. Another island. Oh. Excuse me there, auroral megalops. I don't want you following me. I just said I don't want you following me. Which is why I am going to Abbey Rock with my lights off. Docking. Here the Grim Sisters' lair. I can trade supplies. Resources are limited on this bleak rock. The Sisterhood will pay a fair price for supplies. Not a good price, but a fair price. I can knock at the gates, even though I have no recent news. I can compile a port report. I can search the surroundings. You follow tracks into a sea cave. Someone has stored food, supplies, and ammunition. It can't be the nuns. These crates have a khanate look. The Admiralty will want to know about this. Torpedo components? Yowza. In one of the most striking coincidences of our times, torpedoes are torpedo-shaped. I've gained more strategic information. And a shitload of supplies. Hey, you want to buy some supplies? I need a hunting trophy to offer a gift. I knock at the gates. Nothing. They don't care unless I have news. Sure, I'll sell one of these supplies that I just found for $20. So Westergren's Fire is indeed a lighthouse. Seems to be very much civilized territory. Fully under control. I pushed a button. Frankly, it's a miracle I haven't exploded myself doing that yet. Thornwell Croft and the Shepherd Isles. You a pirate? That's a pirate. He's so fast. Let's get out of here. You know, I would have assumed that the Shepherd Isles would have some kind of dock on them. But I would have been wrong. So where to now? Back home is where to. Since we're in the neighborhood, we might as well stop by the gates. Abbey Rock, we've already seen Abbey Rock. I can't imagine it will take... Well, no, do they? I think they give me 1 fuel and $1. Little ships throng the waters here. The crew grow wistful. Little ships? We draw near to the Cumaean Canal, the way to the surface. I wish I could have a mini-map there. Just to know what I have access... Oh, it's a Gilliflower again. I'm in the fog. My lights are off. You can leave now. You can leave now, Gilliflower. You can leave. Go away. Just get gone. Get out of here. Go. Be gone. Port report. They don't care. But listen for some gossip. We've acquired a vision of the surface. And we're just gonna let him leave. And then we sneak away. Once again, a little bit surprised that I have not exploded my engine in one of the many times that I accidentally hit the explode the engine button. Well, we didn't stop at Mutton Island yet either. It'll be like $1, but it's something. We love dropping by and getting $1. We're at a moderately high amount of terror, which is quite something. So, speak to, I can't have her increase my veils. I would like to increase my veils. I would also like to increase my iron. You know what? Let's do that. Lost a secret and gained 1. And gained 1. And gained 1. I've also been wounded. Yep, she stabbed me a little bit. We were sword fighting and then she stabbed me. I think that went quite well. Oh, right, yes, because we were at 25 and we were at 31 overall with her 6, and so then we... Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, we got it. This is fine. We can get the cat. We can chat to the fisherman. Yeah, we'll get the port report. Visit the hilltop? Sure. Succeeded. We've gained terror for that. I should stop doing that. Alright. So, buying supplies... Ugh. Is expensive. I don't want to do that. Let's go out for drinks. We've lost 1 terror and $20. I see. Yeah, not much to do here. I was thinking maybe we could lose some terror by hanging out there, but I spent $20 on that. I didn't even remember. Why is there such a big crab right in front of London? Excuse you, sir. This is not crab territory. This is... Oh, Well, hello there, Crab, who is really, really quite... Damn. He got me. We can butcher it for food or dissect it for knowledge. We have gained the knowledge. You set to work with your knives and acids. It is an undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops of one of the deep-sea crab species, but its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. Oh, it only did 2 damage to me. Still, I should have shot a little bit sooner so it didn't do any. But that's good to know, is that having a spotlight on somebody makes them quicker to shoot at. That will help me win some fights. Also, how much damage did I do when I hit him? Doesn't seem to be tracking that. So, we made a pretty good circuit there. I think we're getting paid here. Also, I'm definitely gonna have to spend some money on potentially rats. Let's collect some messages. Something has changed. Someone wants to sign on. The Blind Bruiser wants to talk to me. Accept the commission.
Good evening, sir. And what a marvelous evening it is, if you don't mind my saying so, and given it is my impression that you are an obliging sort, I imagine you will not mind at all. And since you are so very obliging, perhaps you wouldn't mind making a little detour via Mount Palmerston with a few articles of cargo if you happen to be in the area. The juryman will of course cover your expenses for this trifling inconvenience. At least 1 unit of space. Mount Palmerston is far away and full of devils. Sure. A crate of exceptional human souls. It has never known the tender touch of the Imperial Customs stamp. Consequently, it cannot be sold on the open market, and you'd better not be caught with it. All right. Mount Palmerston is northeast of here. London. I don't need a Blemmigan. Let's go to the Admiralty. Port Cecil in the Principles of Coral. I have no idea why anyone thought that settlement was a good idea. All right. Well, let's ask to speak to a higher authority. Survey 3 ports in return. We got $30 for that. 1 fuel, 1 crate of expensive supplies. Or whatever else. Ask to speak to the dark-spectacled admiral. Assistance with subsistence. Pass on strategic information. Submit vital intelligence. Vital intelligence can be created from 2 pieces of strategic information or earned through spy networks and some other opportunities. Submit my port reports. Submit a revelatory chart. Speak of moves in the great game. Ask what he needs. Ask if there's anything in particular he needs. Polythreme. A good way east. All right. Sure, we'll give him the vital intel. Damn, that paid pretty good.
I'm glad you brought this to me. I have a colleague of sorts, a diplomat so-called.
That's not a British accent.
No, I have a colleague of sorts.
Now we're into bad Russian.
What's that? Tell me quickly. Tell me, quickly. I'm glad you brought this to me. I have a colleague of sorts, a diplomat so-called. I will tell you because I trust you. This diplomat will pay better, but I will put the information to better use. He leans forward. There are powers in this world I cannot speak of. There are affairs of the Navy I am not proud of. Bring me more information like this, and we can set matters right.
All right. Recovering ex-supremacy, London. So, 350 echoes was the low payout for that. But they like me. They like me. Let's submit the port reports. We would like to submit a report of Station 3. Excuse me, just let me call a colleague in. This is my colleague, Mr. Villain, of the Ministry of Public Decency. Mr. Villain, this good captain's report is here. If you would care to... Yes, the fire's already lit. Let us... There we go. Now, only ashes remain, and it might have caused such a lot... of trouble. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate your discretion. Here is your payment. You need not trouble yourself further in this affair. Remarkably, they still liked that. Abbey Rock, we categorize it as a military installation, you know, although that has occasioned quite some vigorous debate. $20 for visiting Abbey Rock. How about the Cumaean Canal? $5. And they didn't cover the fuel. Pig motile. Gained favor. Excuse me. Are you quite certain this is the report you wish to make? So be it. Quaker's Haven. Demos Island. Strategic information. Sure, I'll sell him one of the strategic information as well. There. We've submitted our port reports. Cool. Back to the docks we go. So let's go to the university. I'm now Favors Antiquarian. I've gained a page. Ooh. Provide a secret to prove yourself worthy of entry. I've lost a secret, but I've gained a page for it. The alarming scholar is mercurial, to say the least. A creature of sudden moves and provoking teeth. Possibly her... Is it her? Appointment as University Maritime Liaison was precautionary to keep his... Is it his? Razor-sharp enthusiasm from causing too many injuries in the facility. Ah, yeah, the scholar whispers breathily. I have a budget for acquisitions. What have you brought me? What have you brought me? A searing enigma, a dread surmise. Ooh, 7 searing enigmas just gets rid of the dude. An extraordinary implication. Let's give him a sea story. They paid $10. Thrilling. Let me hear every detail. First I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider repelled on the nib. Excuse me. Oh, good heavens, it's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? All right. So, gave him a couple of sea stories, and she's happy with it. We can carouse in the docks. We can hire on more crew. Nobody's dead, so we don't need it. Let's offer passage to a tomb colonist. We're going to go up north to Venderbite. And we're going to recruit a new officer, because we always need a new officer. A first officer. We do not have a first officer yet. Veils and fuel efficiency, or mirrors and pages. Yeah, let's $50 or $50. It's fine. It's fine. Spot of rust, soon see to that. You there, help me with this spot of rust. Officer's tab to his slot. That one? Chief Engineer. I thought it was a first officer. Whatever. Invite him to dine with you. His tastes are Spartan. He eats little, drinks only water, and barely sleeps at all. So you only need to lay a simple table. God damn, this man can teach you to be sneaky as hell. I didn't even know the stat went above 100. He can teach you all the way up to 150. Okay, so we're very sneaky now. Ooh, Clatherman's Tattoo Parlor. We need a tale of terror, or a sea story, or a memory of distant shores. So getting a tattoo is great. Great for curing terror. The Gambit. Increase pages by 2 permanently, or hearts by 2. Mirrors. Sure, let's tattoo the splendor of the surface. I don't know that was really necessary. However, we have a tattoo now. The Merchant Venturer. I have need of a reliable agent. Failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. He has very specific needs, but he'll pay much better than market rates, and he won't ask how you got these. To the north along the coast. Muttersalt. They harvested and wither to the north along the coast. 700 echoes. Mount Palmerston. Devilbone dice. That should be unlocked. If he has made 2 requests, you can fill either one. Okay. Well, he'll pay me for 7 of whatever I bring back, either Muttersalt or Devilbone dice. Good to know. The voracious diplomat. I can pick up an agent. Right. Ooh. I can describe moves in the great game. I can provide vital intelligence. Do you work closely with the dark-spectacled admiral? Well, now, the admiral is a man of principle, very straightforward, very traditional in his views. I think it's rather courageous of him to expect the Navy to operate without outside assistance, and he has excellent taste in both chamber music and wine. I hope that makes my feelings clear. So I'm going to keep my strategery to myself for now. So if we go to Roser's Wharf, what have we got? We can sell secrets, mostly. Let's escort the interested acquaintances to the Rose Market. Solace fruit? Outlandish artifacts? I see. So I'll read the morning papers. I will... Will I rest? Shall I rest? I have 700 echoes. Let's rest. Ah, yes. I had been stabbed, and I'm done with that now. Yes, okay, so I can go carousing. But it's not going to work for me. We can hire on more crew, but I don't need more crew right now. I should put my ship in dry dock. So, pretty good odds. 70% chance of success, but boy, is that expensive. That's more expensive than... Ooh. I may call in some Admiralty favors to get some good work done on my ship. 3 favors. Is 3 favors worth $100 to me? Not even. The $25 each. I think I can do better than that. Yes, reliable work. Good to go. It's time. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Can I buy supplies here? Also, I forgot to give the gracious widow Scintillac. Seek Visage, somewhere in the south of the Z.
Your father's last voyage took him to Visage. Have you been to Visage? Each Visager has a mask and a role. The assigner of corpses' role is to dispose of foreign cadavers. I am certain he will know where your father lies.
You can hear the smile in her voice.
Find the assigner, and find your father.
As you bid her goodbye, she coughs. You can feel the air tighten. You can sense her attention on you.
One more thing. Your father owed me a debt. I have, you see, an additional interest in the disposition of his bones and his belongings. I hope you will be frank with me when you return. Hush. Say nothing now. Think on it.
Okay. Yep, that'll do for now. Up north along the coast we go. We are going up north, quite a ways north, by my recollection. And we will be finding... we've got to get a cook. We've got to get a cook. Well, if I recall correctly, there is the bandaged Poissoner. Seems I remember a little more about this game than I thought I did. Which is surprising, considering I only played 20 hours of it. Which, I guess, would be a full 10 streams. Assuming I stream this on Mondays. Which I have already begun doing, you see. Yeah, this definitely flows better as a stream game. As a casual game, it's just like, why am I here? Why am I watching this boat move slowly? It's got a good vibe, but I could be playing something else right now. You start skipping by the text, it's like, am I really getting enough out of this to be worth my time? Who do we want to fight? Do we want to fight? Probably no, actually, but you know what? I'm an idiot. Nobody ever accused me of making good decisions. Ah, we've been spotted. We've also been not quite rammed. Ow! So we're just gonna trade back and forth. Well, that was fortunate. What is in the crates? Is it going to be 1 fuel again? Cache of curiosities. Yep, it's 1 fuel. There's really no profit to doing that. Not with this gun. Not with this ship. Until I can shoot faster, harder, more often. It's just not worth the trouble. I don't get experience points for it. Welcome to Carissa's Point and Horniman's Stag. Seems we have found civilization again. What's this island? I bet this island has a name. Tanachuk. I knew it would have a name. And, oh, we got bats. We got bats! Alright, they've noticed us. They've decided to come after us. They've bitten us. The scree. tasty screes. Very tasty scree. Grr, the sneak attack hadn't even raided yet. How are you doing, Violet? How do you do? How do you do? It's too late. We've eaten the scree. They're very tasty. Taste scree. Hee hee hoo hoo ho ho ho. Shout out Magic Violet. Vi is doing well. That is good to hear. You had a lot of fun in raid. Ah, that is exactly why we do this in the first place. Precious. After starting and going for a big announcement about how, I don't know what we're playing, we're going to hang out until we figure it out, it took less than a minute to just look at the library and decide, wait, never did play Sunless Sea on stream, let's do that. Man, oh, yes, you see, I had a little paper boat, and I filled it with mayonnaise, and it sunk. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hee hee hoo hoo ha. I am still just chatting. Heckin' grr. Alright. This isn't an RTS. Thank you for that. Vi is helping. Yeah, it's a net positive. Net positive. Oh. We're already here. I thought this was much further away. Excuse me. Please do, Vi. Please do. Now that we've brought this tomb colonist north to the tomb...
It's everything I imagined. But there's someone missing. Please, bring her to me. She went off to the Mangrove College. She just needed to get out of London. But Venderbite is just as safe as the college, and I'll wager she's bored of mud by now.
Look for the shady sort in the Mangrove College, somewhere in the south of the Untersea. Did I get paid for that? I was supposed to get paid for that, I think. Venderbite is not the most promising place for shore leave. Too much decay, too little light. Too many bandaged walking corpses. Few companions of easy virtue. No cinnamon, no recent newspapers, very little pickled cave herring. I can visit the first curator, I can explore Venderbite. Let's explore. We've acquired a tale of terror. Dead fir trees have carpeted a little park with old brown needles. A little group of tomb colonists stands around another lying on a bench. Unexpectedly, you find yourself reminded of physicians and midwives at a birthing couch. The colonist on the bench, he's old, withered to sticks, groans horribly though the fir needles deaden the sound. Something moves in his chest, like a sea creature surfacing or a butterfly breaching a cocoon. The other colonists spot you and close ranks around him.
Stay back, Silkskin,
one hisses.
This is his breaking out. Your time will come.
There is a kind of rapture in her voice. Well, that's something. What do we got for gossip? Let's visit the first curator.
The captains, the first curator gives audience.
The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists. But even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. It is time to close. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in a latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandaged shape, no larger than a child, lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with an obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees.
See, Captain, Silkskin, not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors. 7 colors. Cosmogon, Irigo, Belgian, Stewart has list. Find them here and there. Across the wide Black Sea.
Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcades of Vendibite.
Oh, Silkskin, you don't want to know.
The chuckling becomes a cough.
We don't die here below, not unless we go to Z. So we needed something else, somewhere to end.
No more words. It collapses, rustling back onto the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim, illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We will all be grateful if you do it this one last favor. I hope this doesn't mean I have to steal the Rat Star. We have pages, pages and pages. Beyond the gate there is a sea more sunless. That's bad. So we've met Vendibite. We've got an okayish amount of supplies. And a fair enough amount of fuel. So let's take that fuel and head up north. How far north? I don't even know. Let's see if there's any place that the bat can find. Nope. No islands within scanning distance. But welcome to the Boreal Reach. Oh, look at you. You are something. That's a lifeberg. Can't imagine it would be too invested in me. Certainly hope it's not too invested in me. Very far away someone is screaming, and if that lifeberg catches up to me, I think that's going to be happening a fair sight closer as well. We have discovered Wither. I think we're just about at the upper edge here. As evidenced by all of the lifebergs. This is too many lifebergs. I don't want any part of it. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. From here you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. The citizens of Wither enjoy questions, so much so that they always answer a question with another question. This can make intelligence gathering frustrating. Are you asking for any particular reason? At what time of day? Is that your hat? Might it be 6? It could be 6. Eventually, you cobble together enough implication and supposition to compose a report. We can take shore leave. We're clever enough for that. $50 for it, though. Yowza. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of grey stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sights tucked away. They are. You fall into a reverie as you wander the shore. There are words in the wind. A story of sorts, of a gate in the north, of a pale light that began there, of a drowned light that will end there, of a high wilderness that other ships may sail. You lift your eyes. On the wall of a salt works, someone has scrawled, "Is there a sea more sunless?" Wait, hold on. Shops? Oh, for... You... Interesting. They trade in stories up here. Okay, so... The figurehead of the Eater of Names. It seems that supplies are slightly easier to come by than I gave them credit for. I just have to go to the shopping tab, or they won't let me buy anything. I've discovered the Lifebergs of the Pale Haunt. I could have shot him. It would have perhaps been a little bit funny if I had shot him, but he would have been very much angrier than he is now. Back in the day, I killed at least one of those. Didn't do me much good. Hello! I have come to the Isle of Codex. Codex, a desperate cave full of mute exiles and an inexplicable colony of shivering, bad-tempered monkeys. If I have a searing enigma, I can acquire a doomed monster hunter, or I can compile a port report. The exiles see many come, fewer leave. Some are even willing to communicate, but their gestures are unfamiliar, the meaning's unclear. Even when you can understand, there are answers without questions, as useless as a key without a lock. But they sell supplies. Reasonable supplies. $60 for that, though. Ouches. There's another port up here? No, there's not. Okay. Much exploration to be had. Yeah, this is probably far enough over. Chongyi Rift. It's a big old rift, that is. No islands for the Z-Bat. I gotta get a cook. We are just burning supplies. We're also burning fuel, but that's on purpose, and we have a chief engineer. He does fuel efficiency. A tiny breeze stirs your hair and then dies. No islands to be had. Bonvadas Pillar. Oh, that's a big pillar. It's the Bonvadas Pillar. It's quite large. That's a crack pirate frigate. I would like to flee from this. We're going to go far from him. He's going to run into a rock. And then we're going to shoot at a crab. Ha ha! Take that, you crab! Didn't get me that time. Pale and salty meat. The crew will feast. The glowing flesh is unstable. It crisps and withers as the glow fades, so eat it while it's fresh. Well, while we're here... Nah, it's not worth it. All clear. I wonder if we don't get our officer bonuses while we've got that battle stations thing going. What else is there to be had? Probably nothing for the bat to find. No new islands. Stalagmites loom in the distance like the cranes of Wolfstack docks, but vaster, vaster. The Corsair's forest. Oh, here the wilder airs mean Emerald's Gate, and look at the size of that western angler crab. Hunter's Keep, you say? This looks like it might be a port. It is a port! This might be the one where you can trade news for supplies. Potentially, the nuns will trade news for weapon skill, which would be pretty sick, actually. I should maybe go see the nuns. Hunter's Keep. Present yourself at the house, or walk in the gardens. Reconnoiter the island, or spy on the house. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist, like 100 other Untersee islands, but here is a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the fall star light, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. We're going to spy on the house a little bit. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor, grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops. We'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not for you. The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboard. Hush! We don't speak of it. If we don't speak of it. She frowns. Has she seen you at the window? You withdraw. We'll grab the port report. Ships rarely come here, nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters, but the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. Let us visit. Some sort of beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuit. It waggles its antennae impertinently. A maid with smoldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlor where the 3 young women wait. A visitor, the youngest one cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. Excuse me. The cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? All right. Okay. So, when they're not wanting visitors, you can entice them out again. Let's talk to Cynthia. Oh, that's a lot. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue, her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to the story of a murder, an axe, a net, blood on scented water. "Another chop?" Cynthia asks. "You've barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. It's not safe to be hungry." So we've gained a little bit of terror, and a tale of terror. But we've also got supplies, and we've become acquainted with the sisters. Delightful. Well, that was really quite close to London. So, as expeditions go, that wasn't particularly dramatic, but it wasn't bad. Could certainly have gone worse. Could have gone profoundly worse. And thanks to the magic of getting a couple of snacks along the way, we have managed to save not 1, but 2 units of supplies. Tell me that London will sell me supplies for $20. Please. So, Muther salt. You know what? In Wither. I harvest it in Wither. Damn it, I was just there. I had the spare money. I could have done it. Oh. Hellfire. Oh, look at that. Terribly inexpensive. Trading in common goods. Ah, I can... Well... Parabola linen, spider silk, human souls, dark drop, coffee beans, prisoner's honey, mushroom wine. We could buy, perhaps, bigger guns. Or a Ratus Faber assistant. Ah. They are expendable. So we've got the Serpentine, a shimmering complexus of steel and glass. In its heart, a Serpent King rages, or so the magician claims. You know, perhaps I don't have that. I think I have an elderly steeple engine. So for 500, I could improve slightly. The House of Vision. Oh. Big honkin' lamps. Sure, we'll buy one of those. So that's a solid price for fuel, but before I do that, I ought to go to the Voracious Diplomat. I can pick up an agent. I can sell her information. Perhaps not. I can go to the Roser's Wharf. Alright, so I still have restful nights. I haven't needed to stop back here in a while, and I keep spending money on it. Locked. You need another day, a new recruit. I could try for some repairs, but I don't need to. Generally, I just need to go, drop off my port reports. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Port reports. This, like... Okay. The sisters are keeping well. All right. I refuse to ask any questions in Wither. I don't want to give them the satisfaction. Been there. Literally. I just went there. Literally, I just went there. Exiled for giving answers. That's Wither for you. Anything new? Lots of favors. Don't have anything else for them. Hire on more crew. Do I want to buy flares? Reveal enemies. We could bring a set of Foxfire candles. We are clay, a trio of clay stokers. Deck weapon. Forward weapon. Costs 1 torpedo components per use. Alright, so that's the torpedo weapon. Deck weapon. Hull damage 12, life damage 12. 1-4. 8814. So, a flensing cannon. Ouch. Permits flensing attacks. So I can get a 50% bonus for 200. Majesty is the only front-mounted pure cannon. Others are torpedoes or flensing weapons. 22-22. 2 and 4. A cavalry prong launcher. This is almost certainly a bad idea. However, I'm buying a cannon. Steam launch. I've got a Pavane, a Lampad-class cutter. Oh, these all look so nice, but they are thousands and thousands of echoes. This ship does not have a forward weapon. I'm so mad. I would have to upgrade to a Lampad-class cutter to use that damned thing. Well... we'll hold on to it for now, and then we'll try and save up for a cutter in the future. So, we are heading out. We're going to start south. We're going to start at Mutton Island. We're going to grab a whole bunch of port reports and then come on back. Hey, guess what? This isn't actually an outlet. This doesn't leave. I have to go the other way around. So, new goal. Save up 2 grand. As it stands, we're doing pretty good on subsistence. But that doesn't help us in terms of having enough... Enough what? Money. We don't get much money. Right now we are almost exclusively operating a... Ha ha ha! Oh, I keep getting so lucky on those like 50% chance to hits. All clear, and down to Mutton Island. So, who do I want to speak to? Let's work on pages. How many secrets? I've got 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are increasing pages. What does that do?
esoteric, and occasionally practical knowledge. All right. I'm spending all these secrets on level ups, as is good and right. So shops, no shops. Shipyard, no shipyard. Color me surprised. Okay, we're gonna chat to the fisherman. We're gonna explore the shore. Ooh. So this is all pages. I've just been training that. And sure, I'll bet $1 on one of the riddles. But it was a good story. So we've got our port report. Let's hit up Demo Island. We don't need to fight pirates right now. Yes, we'll go directly to Demo Island and stop that. Go away, I say. Go away. Thank you. We are going to Demo Island, and then we are going straight north. Would you get out of here? Ouch. Well, that's not helping anything. I suppose the answer is to just shoot them. There we go. How obliging of them. Got winged. 4 supplies. Well. Quite nice, I must say. Still would have preferred to not fight them, or to fight them with that gun that really does work well. But as it stands, there's really not much to be done. Tea with the factor. Poor fellow needs the company. Unlocked when something awaits you. A shadowy predator. It's the little things. The click of a sliding stone where there should be silence, a motion in the shadows. If they were thick, stirred like ink, a lull in the cries of the Z-Bats. Something is watching you, drawing closer hour by hour. You and your crew draw back to back. 80% chance to get out of there. Wait, watch, and end it. Yeah, no, I do not have the gear to get out of here. So we got lucky. We almost got eaten, but not actually. Iron and Misery. Compile a port report. Perhaps not. I really did want to talk to them as it happens. You know what, maybe we'll go south. We'll explore down here a little bit, and then when we get the ping back, we will... Hey, it's the Phosgene Bleaks. Once we get the ping back, we will come back up here. And then once we're back up here, maybe we'll get the thing that I was wanting. Because it looked like we had a chef there, but I thought I was clicking the port report button, but I was not. So that's that. We'll just do a little scouting down here. That's a good sign. It flew away from... Well, I see. Here's Thornwell Croft. Looks like an island. Oh, it's the Shepherd Isles. Oh, right. The Shepherd Isles. The Shepherd Isles. Alright. So, things are going reasonably well. He might get a shot off. but it's fewer than 3. Actually, no, we managed to sucker punch him good. Loot and scuttle. A bolt of... Oh, hell yeah, we got a bale of parabola linen. Parabola is the serpent place behind mirrors, or someone made that up. But in that case, where do they weave this sleek and ambery glimmering cloth? So we took down a pirate. This is further than I intended to go. Let's take a look. What am I going to find down here? Well, it could be Station 3, but they don't want me talking to Station 3 anymore. They never wanted me talking to Station 3. Station 3 doesn't exist. So let's drop by Abbey Rock, which is remarkably close to the Cumaean Canal, come to think of it. We are dropping by the Abbey, where I can exchange supplies for exactly as much as it costs to buy them, at the best available price. What a scary fog bank. Apparently I didn't discover the Sisterhood the last time I was here. Compile the port report. What if we watched them for a while? Like huge and deadly herons, the sisters stalk along the very tops of the walls. You watch through a spyglass as they leap and whirl, slashing at each other with a variety of frightening weapons. God, one of them just turned a somersault. Well, we'll tell them the news. The muscular prioress, the abbess's lieutenant, comes to the door to listen. She nods and makes notes. She pays particular attention to the news of marsh beast predations and the traffic of the rooftops. In return, she offers a rather perfunctory blessing, but the blessing reassures the crew. It's something. And I will aim to be not in line with that jellyfish. I am pointed at this blank spot on the map. Is it perhaps this island? No, that seems to be Flitterstone Isle. Well, actually, it might be Fieldhaven, a dockable port where I have never been. I must have gotten distracted by that ship last time. So, Shepherd Isles. Of course, the Bearded Watch tells me there's no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. Compile a port report. Oh, my, that's been going on. Surface rolling like a porridge pot over the roar of steam and flash of fire and the tentacles. And we saw His Highness. There's rather a lot of that. Engage the sigil-ridden navigator. Let me guide your ship. I know all the Z, how it was, how it will be. Please, the headaches only stop when I'm working. I'm running low on money. We have acquired the sigil-ridden navigator. What does he do? Gives me mirrors and veils. So I'm going pretty much straight north from here. And I've gotten a fuel from that, which is, boy, we are a lot less fuel efficient than I thought we were. It's still not terrible. Oh, it's the light. Having a light equipped has made me a little bit less fuel efficient.
So I suppose I must keep it on. Actually, you know what? That's quite a light, as it were. We must dock before we change the ship's equipment. That's fair. Okay. Just slide in here real quick. Nice and easy. Dock. So in the hold, we're going to detach that bridge light. The mirrors go down a very little bit, but that's fine. Tea with the Factor. You sit on the veranda of the Factor's house, looking out over the fungal jungle, an expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale, even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the Factor is good company. He shares odd stories about the ice and roses of Irem, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies, and a little restaurant in Vanderbite where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Vanderbite.
I know I'd never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it?
He also has a load of Belegus frond carted aboard your ship. He waves away your thanks.
I've eaten so much of the stuff I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus.
He leans confidentially towards you.
It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first.
I've been told of an exceptionally fine restaurant in Vanderbite. And we've gained 8 fragments. All right, so straight north from here. Though, might end up calling it quits on this expedition and turning around soon, because we've taken some damage, and we are also not doing great on fuel. Not so good on the fuel supplies. That's a big old crab. I wonder if I could get him to fight the pirates. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. But it's a fun thought. We have discovered Bonny Reefs. What a lovely time. I think I will turn around at 3 remaining fuel. I'm just hoping I can find someplace with shipping commodities. I'm just hoping I can find some place with commodities first. The Corsair's Forest. And we've found Gator's Mourn. Here's Massey's Shaft again. Gator's Mourn is directly north of us. Discovered Eakin Rock. This is Eakin Rock on the right. I think Gator's Mourn is the one that says Gator's Mourn on it. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, so we're going to drop in at Gator's Mourn. Didn't I start this expedition with 12 fuel? Dock. An evening at the Errant Limpet. I don't need that. We can explore. We can hear rumors of a pirate poet. We could try to assemble a port report, but that might get us in trouble. Alright. Boy, it's expensive to buy things here. Red honey goes like hotcakes here. Human souls, not much to be sold here. But boy, do they ever buy the red honey. So let's explore. What do we find? It's very vertical. You can traverse it as you would a rocky moor. Okay. So I can think of my future.
I can think of my past. I have gained 5 mirrors. All right, let's hear about the pirate poet. Some say she's a clay man who freed herself with the power of verse. Possible. Others insist she's the personal muse of the king with 100 hearts. Unlikely. One claims she sails on a living ship made of the still screaming skulls of her victims. More sober vessels mutter that, no, that's just an Alcaeus-class vessel. Whatever the truths, few have fought her and survived to tell the tale. Only the bravest of captains risk the lonely parts of the sea where her flag is said to fly. All right, let's try for the port report. Hey, we succeeded. Did not get our ass kicked for asking. That's quite a lighthouse. So Gatorsmorn is the pirate port. Patrick's Lot. As soon as we hit 3 fuel even, we're going to turn around. Which works, because we are... You know what? We'll turn here. This is close enough. If you're low on fuel, buy more, or you'll regret it. So the Devil Bone dice might be a better profit for me. Oh, a crack pirate pinnace. Well, I'm kind of stuck in here. Kind of have not a lot of options except to take down the crack pirates. Unfortunately, they have left us no choice but to kill them all. I am too afraid of what these pirates can do to me to not do it to them first. All right. Hey, do you have any fuel? Spider silk. That's quite nice. Sure hope Venderbite sells fuel. Oh, I sure hope Venderbite sells fuel. I think we're going to have to turn the lights out. Because we are in some rather dire straits at this point. I think there's a crab here. And I know that there are bats. They are going to bite me. They are biting me. So if I swerve around up here, then that gives me a chance to get a firing solution. And take that, you bats. Gain some supplies. Might have to buy 1 or 2 things of fuel. Might be coming out of this with a fair bit of terror. And what else are we gonna do? Maybe hire a chef. Who knows? Alright, visit a certain little restaurant. Have a glass of wine. Explore the port. Gather gossip. Shops. I can buy fuel at fairly reasonable prices. I can sell things. Interesting. Ah, tomb colonists. Not a lot of money, but yeah, it's if I can find a reliable source of them, I can find a reliable drop-off for them.
Let's visit a certain little restaurant. A corkscrewed street at the twisty tip of an odd little side street, welcoming yellow light glows from the gilt-lettered windows of a restaurant. A sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up. A gray mustache pokes impertinently out from under his bandages. Come in, come in! A bandage was on the Advenderbite, Zig's passage with the Z captain, sympathetic to intrepid cuisine. All right. 60 bucks to sample the special. Yowza. So we'll recruit him as a cook. That's expensive. Perhaps not. Well, we know about the Vengeance of Jonah. We're going to head home. Because those 2 port reports up there are not going to be enough. I am a little concerned about the financial situation here. I guess, at least, we are well supplied with food. So anything that we do can, there. Oof. We can drop a lot of money on fuel when we get there. So just making sure that we are pointed at the Hunter's Keep. Oh, I'm turning the light out because I remember what happens when you almost get home and then run out of fuel. Oh, those bastards. We've fed the crew. They know they're going home. Hunter's Keep. Restless, prone to giggles. Soft voice. Let's see. Well, let's go in order. Let's visit Lucy. We've lost some terror to talk to Lucy. I have so much god attention. I don't like that. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially. A complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all of the details of her plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. So they have no shops and no ships. Forward, I say. Full steam ahead. And with all of these buoys, we don't even need to worry about keeping the lights on. It's a very pleasant place to be. Excuse me. Well, we are gonna make it, but just barely. The last. An offer of assistance. I don't need it, you hyena. So, shops. Where would I buy tomb colonists? I can sell off the spider silk and the parabola linen. Hyena. Exactly. You get it. Where clay, I can buy assistant rats, the Iron and Misery Company. Now, where? Zoop. I don't get any tomb colonists here. This is a place for selling things. This is a place for selling secrets. This is... Let's start. 1 point of favor will get you 2 to 3 fuel. Let's submit the port reports. Gator's Morn, $30. Vendor Bite, $10. Shepherd Isles, submit as unsubstantiated hearsay, $10. Abbey Rock, another piece of fuel. Yeah, Quaker's Haven again. $5, but the fuel is nice. Demo's Gate. Beautiful. I have submitted my reports. And we got a half a dozen fuel out of it. Okay. Well, I don't want a Blemmigan. I don't want the Rose Market. I see no need to carouse. Or hire anyone. Or put the ship in dry... Well, maybe put the ship in dry dock. 75. Admiralty Yards. This is... 3 supplies for a 70% chance of the rats doing repairs. Well... I have a lot of favors. Sure. Called in a favor, got repaired. As much as I want to go out for another trip, I think it's time to call it a night. So we got pirates out here. We've got Mount Palmerston somewhere over here. I could go up to Wither and make a big purchase. Drop it off here, but I need to go to Palmerston. Yeah. So... I think I exit to desktop. And if the Iron Man autosave has failed me, then I've lost 2.5 hours of my life. Sure hope that isn't what just happened. Let's see what we're doing. Well, Juniper Ram is playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Everybody loves the Juniper Ram. I demand it. Famous people, famous people, famous people. Spief VA is doing a fundraiser. Pocket Paris is playing Repo. Well, we didn't raid Juniper last night, so we'll raid Juniper tonight. I ended up having a lot more fun than I expected to playing Sunless Sea. Then again, I am also a decade older than the last time I played that game and was a little bit about it. So what now? What next? We're going to be back on Thursday. Why? What's Thursday? Why, thank you for asking. Thursday is the Donnybrook. We are back with the 12th Aerial Donnybrook. It's on a Thursday afternoon or evening, depending on time zone. I think in future incarnations, we're going to make it a little bit later to make it a little bit easier on the West Coasters. However, we're finally back, and it's going to be small and jank because it's the first one back, but we are back, and that is the start. The difference between nothing and something is infinitely bigger than the difference between something and something a little bit more. So I look forward to seeing you then. But if I don't see you there, that's okay. I'd just rather it be because you're someplace else. So until next time, Take care of yourselves.